So, hello. Have you ever sort of gone online and looked trying to buy some fragrances? You know roughly what you like, but how do you find that fragrance? What is the name of that fragrance? Where do I go to get it? Well, there's plenty of fragrance finders online, and what I've done is I've found a few today that I'm going to try, essentially from websites that I've bought fragrances from before. What we're going to do is we're going to keep the same sort of note profile for these based on things that I like, and see if they recommend the same fragrances, different fragrances, and then we'll go into the ones that they recommend in a bit more detail. So yeah, I'm going to quickly show you the three websites I'm using. We'll type in the sort of notes essentially that I like and I want them to recommend for me, and yeah, we'll see what they come up with. Three fragrance websites we're going to use today. One is Boots. Boots is doing their own fragrance store. It's coming out in 2 weeks as well, fragrance only store. But if you don't know Boots, essentially they do health things. They do like foot creams, foot pads, like nasal sprays, electrolyte tablets, all those sort of things. And obviously they have their own beauty department as well. So that's one of the ones I'm going to go for today. We're also going to look at Fragrance Direct. That's where I used to buy sort of dupe and yeah, CK1 Shock, I think, from there as well, years ago. So yeah, they have a fragrance finder as well. And the third one is All Beauty. That's where I tend to buy my Aqua de Parma sprays. Normally the best price for Aqua de Parma is on there because they have sales a lot. So yeah, essentially I'm sitting on my computer now. We'll see what they come up with. I'm going to go for sort of woody fragrances today. I'm hoping they're going to have a similar sort of type of questioning with these. Um, Sometimes they want you to add your email to these fragrance finders, I've noticed. So essentially you can sign up to their mailing list. So yeah, what we'll do, we'll start with All Beauty, as that's the first one I've got up here, and we'll see what they recommend. And so if anyone hasn't seen these before, essentially what it asks you to do for first on this one, they've got over 1,800 perfumes here in aftershave, so we should get quite a good list. But it asks if it's for him or for her, so let's go for him. Let's see what it tells me to do then. So what it'll ask you then is, what notes do you prefer? So obviously with this one here, it's saying citrus, woody, ambery. Let's move you across so you can see a little bit more. Fruity, floral. Let's today just go woody. And it says these fragrances encompass cedarwood, which I love sandalwood as well. Vetiver, and like earthy, mossy woods. So yeah, that sounds definitely like something for me. Okay. Oh, that's all there was for their fragrance finder. So what do they recommend then? Let's go for one that we don't normally go for because, yeah, obviously I've had Aramis. They obviously know me too well. They've got dupe on here. Let's have a look at Dolce & Gabbana K Eau de Parfum. I remember this coming out and it not getting the best reviews. So we're going to go to Fragrantica now and see what it says. Dolce & Gabbana K Eau de Parfum. Quite surprised, considering this is a fragrance that came out in 2020. It's quite an extensive list of fragrance notes here. So the top notes are blood orange, juniper berries, pimento, lemon, Sicilian lemon, cardamom. Then middle notes, it's got fig in it. They never do fig, I don't think, in modern fragrances. We're talking about fig a lot. Lavender, geranium, clary sage. And then in the base notes, they've got the cedar, patchouli, vetiver, is it cypriol oil as well? So yeah, obviously based on the recommendation from that finder on All Beauty, it's obviously the cedar and vetiver that's come through on this. Now, what do people say about it? What does it get as a rating on Fragrantica to start with? 3.99. That's not bad. Basically 4 out of 5, 3,000 votes. Pretty good. Now, the sort of three main compliments or three main pros that they put on there: good quality fragrance, gorgeous bottle design. Now, again, I do quite like the design of this bottle with the crown on the top, but let's not talk about that with the fragrance. We want to know about the smell. Unique fig and pimento notes, and very masculine, but also very versatile. Again, that goes into these modern fragrances. Versatility is the name of the game. Now, the cons, different from the EDT. Well, yeah, to be honest, that's something I don't like actually. You know, when you get a fragrance where you want a stronger version of the eau de toilette, and then the eau de parfum also just smells like a different fragrance. So I can understand that being a con if that is the case. Some may not want to be associated with this type of smell. Okay, some may find it too dark. Not a masterpiece compared to other Dolce & Gabbana fragrances. Again, so what people I think are saying here is it's quite generic, quite safe again. Some people like that, some people don't, but it obviously offers plenty of versatility. And obviously, as we were saying, that is one of the ones recommended by All Beauty for me to try. So yeah, very interesting. Let's have a go at the next one. Let's go on to Fragrance Direct and see if their fragrance finds a little bit more in depth. There's certainly some more in depth ones than that. Okay, so exactly the same for this one. It says for him or for her, so we're going to go for him. And again, they're asking a similar thing to All Beauty here. So we've made finding the right fragrance a little bit easier. Just pick the scent you like the most and find out what's in store. The options they give are woody, floral, ambery, and citrus. So we're going to go for woody. And again, exactly the same as all these. They've actually not given much questioning. So let's have a little look at... There's a lot of old school fragrances here, but I think we should go for a sort of middle of the range one. So let's go for one that I've spoken about a little bit lately, but not really gone into it too much. Versace Dreamer. It's gone up in price, $27.95 on there. Let's have a look on Fragrantica. Versace the Dreamer. I actually thought it was an older fragrance, this, but it came out during the 2010s apparently. So, what are the notes in Versace the Dreamer? So, the top notes are juniper, tarragon, and artemisia. Middle notes, iris, lily, and flax. And then the base notes are tobacco, blossom, and amber. So, I don't think that's too woody, is it? Maybe off the top of my head. But anyway, it's mainly white florals and aromatic type fragrances, according to Fragrantica. 4.07 out of 5, 5,000 votes. So again, a very well-known fragrance. What do people like about it? So, affordable? Well, maybe not anymore. Magic and dreamy scent. Mystical and romantic emotions. A must-buy for collectors. Unisex fragrance with hints of tobacco. So what do people not like about it? Too soapy. Not everyone would appreciate that tobacco note. Again, you can't win, basically. That's what we're saying here. And some may find it too masculine or old-fashioned. That's fine by me. That sounds absolutely fine to me. So yeah, there you go. There's another one. I'm not very happy though with those two books. They've basically just said, what fragrance note do you like? Woody. And that's it. And then you've got like 12 pages. They've not really zoned in enough. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at the next one on Boots and see if they maybe give you a bit more of a breakdown, you know, what age sort of are you, all those things, because I know some of these do. So yeah, those first two are very, very basic fragrance finders. I personally don't think they're very good, and they've not given me any more detail than I want, but I suppose they've given me plenty of variety. There's multiple pages on them, but yeah, let's have a little look at the Boots one. On to Boots now. So what we're going to do, we are going to go mail. Help us understand the products you love and get recommendations. So this one's good, you see. What they've put is search by brand or ingredients. I'm going to go for ingredients for this. Whether I like Hermes and stuff, so that's good. So they're really detailed with this. I don't know how well you can see this one. Let's try and move you a bit closer. But I've got you on a stand today, and it's not the best stand in the world. Essentially, though, it says citrus. There's 23 different sort of fragrance ingredients they've given you here. 24 for green, 13 for watery, 33 for fougere, floral fruity. Let's find woody. So they've got 50 for woody. Now, I always say I really like cedarwood. So we're going to click on that, and we're just going to go... Actually, you can do multiple here, so that's really good. Let's add vanilla just for the sake of this one as well. Get recommendations. Let's see what comes up. And as you can see, what they've done is they've given you more personalised options here. So Boots have done a really good job with their fragrance finder here. I've got only the 4, but at least I now know I'm in a zoned in bit with cedarwood and vanilla in. So we've got Bleu de Chanel Parfum, Eros Eau de Parfum, 1 Million Elixir, and Boss Bottled. Let's go Boss Bottled and have a look on Fragrantica. This fragrance actually came out in 1998, so it's an old school fragrance, older than I thought, this one. Now, does it actually have those woody notes in? Does it actually have, you know, the cedarwood and the vanilla that we were looking at? So, top notes, apple, plum, bergamot, lemon, oak moss, geranium, cinnamon, mahogany, carnation in the middle, and then the base, which is where you'd expect to find the notes that I've said I liked, vanilla, sandalwood, cedar, vetiver, and olive tree. So yes, it does. So Boots, I'm very impressed with your fragrance finder. Very well done. What do people say about it? Well, in terms of a score, it gets 4.0 out of 5. 13,000 votes, 12,599. That's amazing. So pretty decent score there. Good all-rounder, balanced and casual, exceptional blind buy, soft, clean scent. Cons, poor performance, boring and ordinary. So again, it's just contradicting what people have said. The plus of it, sweet vanilla may be overpowering. So yeah, there we go. Again, that sounds like my sort of fragrance. Again, versatility seems to be the name of the game in terms of the things that I like to wear. As you would have seen, I've done a fitness fragrance review the other day of Police Extreme. Got a very good rating. So even though I quite like those more daring winter scents, with the sort of stuff I like doing, versatility works, and it still works for a lot of people in the, you know, these modern fragrances. So yeah, let's see if we can find a couple more fragrance finders, because I think we can do even better than Boots. But Boots, that's the best one so far. Okay then, so we're going to go on to the fourth one now, and this is from the Fragrance Shop. Now, if you don't know this shop, you do get these in a lot of high streets and shopping malls, potentially. So this one here, Fragrance Match. It says, looking to find a friend for yourself or someone you know, start our Fragrance Match quiz below by telling us who you're shopping for, and we'll help you find the perfect scent. So who is the fragrance for? So of course, for myself. Your favourite fragrance is, let's put Hermes. And it gives you, this is quite nice, it's giving me a list here of what Hermes fragrances are. So third Hermes, the top one. So I'm going to go next. Would you like something similar to this, or would you like to try something new? Should we go different? Let's go different, just to confuse them a bit with male. And what scent are you most attracted to? So they're giving you 6 options here. Aromatic, floral, fresh, fruity, oriental, and woody. We'll go woody again. How much do you want your fragrance to be noticed? So this is good, you see. I like strong performance. And something we saw with the fragrances that we got recommended earlier, like the Boss Bottle one, performance potentially lacking. So we're going to go strong because we don't like to mess about here, do we? When do you usually wear fragrance? Daytime, evenings, anytime? Well, I wear them to bed as well, so we're going to go for that one. How old are you? 18 to 30. If anyone doesn't know how old I am, by the way, 29. So just about in that young one. And finally, how much would you like to spend? Perfect. So again, they're not pricing you out of these. Now, obviously, with those other websites where there was only literally the option where you put, you know, woody, and then it gives you 5 pages, you can then sort it and filter it. But this is doing the job for you. This is exactly what I want from a fragrance finder. Just a bit more detail, a bit more depth, a bit more exploratory, and then you get more of a personalised recommendation. So it's between £10 and £150. They say lifestyle, premium, luxury. We're going to go between lifestyle and premium. So we're going to go £10 to £60. You're nearly there. Get your fragrance match sent straight to your inbox. Just pop your email below. Don't like this bit, but what I'll do, I'll type my email in and yeah, we'll see what they come up with. 10 minutes has gone by and I've still not received the email. So it was going so well, but I'm going to ignore that one now. We're going to do a couple more because I don't want to wait for it. So it was literally the most in-depth, but because I didn't sign up for marketing, they probably thought we won't bother sending the results. So what we're going to look at now is we're actually going to go to a website that does clone fragrances, and that's the Essence Vault. So I've currently got a clone fragrance of that. This is for it, and this is a clone of Ted Hermes. Very good performance on this, though. It's a bit underwhelming with that one, I must admit. It's nowhere near as long lasting as the original. Actually, some clone fragrances can be pretty good for that. But what we're going to do, we're going to see what this one's like. Not looked at this one before at all. So I'll turn you around. Essentially, it's already started by asking me the question of what fragrance are you looking for him, for her, or unisex? We'll go for him. And this is interesting. It says, how do you want the scent to make you feel? Which is the first time we've been asked that. Confident, relaxed, happy, or energized? I think confidence. I think confidence is what you really want when you get in fragrances. What products are you looking for? Fragrance. What do you value the most when buying a fragrance? Cruelty-free, fast shipping, positive reviews, or sample options? Probably not the answer you should put, but I'm going to say positive reviews. Did you know all our products are 100% cruelty-free? Okay. How do you like your fragrance? Subtle, noticeable, and powerful. Subtle, noticeable, and powerful. Powerful. What is more important to you, price or quality? Quality. Luckily for you, we don't compromise. Yeah. They're answering these questions. They're just kind of putting it in themselves. Pick your go-to note. So again, 4 options with this one: floral, woody, fresh, spicy. We'll do that one. How old am I? 25 to 34. Wants me to type my email again. So let's. Oh, I can skip. I skipped it. Right, let's see what happens now. It's calculating my result. And it says my scent personality is woody and wild. Well, I know that. Okay, so their recommendations are inspired by Aventus, inspired by 1 million, and inspired by Oud Wood. Well, we got a bit of a positive there because, look, I'm going to quickly go show you it now. Ta-da! Inspired by Oud Wood. I got this actually as a 300ml bundle at the time with Dior Sauvage clones. It was the Dior Sauvage clone, Tom Ford Oud Wood, and the Ted Hermes clone. Now this one is fantastic. My brother had the original Oud Wood. This clone here, which is a 341 by the Essence Vault, is amazing. It's like this boozy, sparkling sandalwood. So it's basically giving me everything I want there. Now, do I really like Aventus and 1 million? Not particularly, but again, they are being recommended, a lot of these 1 million, whether that's a flanker of the original or the original itself. But that one is very good. And if that was the recommendation that they came up for and gave it to me, I would have been very happy with that. Not so sure about the other two though, so it just shows maybe they need to go into even more detail. But this one, absolute stunner. If you've not tried Tom Ford Oud Wood, try a clone of it first because it's obviously very expensive. I think you'd be very happy with that for a winter scent. So yeah, still waiting for the email from the other one. So while we still wait, we'll go on to the next one. Final one we're going to do, the final website is the Perfume Shop. Again, very well known in mals and stuff, this one. Not the cheapest. I don't think I've ever bought from them. You used to get like, if you went in them and bought a fragrance, you tend to get like a free wash bag with it. Anyway, I've got a feeling just looking at the page, this is going to be a bit more like the All Beauty and Fragrance Direct websites. A little bit more generalized, I think, but it tells you you've got fougere as an option, green as an option. It tells you kind of what they give you as well. So this fragrance family is reminiscent of freshly mowed lawn, citrus, clean, zesty, dry woods, so smoky leather, tobacco notes, mossy woods, woody amber, amber, soft amber, floral amber. So they go into quite a lot of detail with these, actually. I must give them some credit there. But let's go back to just general woods. So explore the woods family. See what it comes up with. Okay, so yeah, looking at this, it's basically what I quite like here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got like pictures of what the notes are below and why they are woody. So the Carolina Herrera 212, which we will look at because that was recommended on the other websites as well. But it tells you it's got peppercorn, sandalwood, and green leaves. You've got Emporio Armani here, nutmeg, sage, vetiver, the original Ted Hermes. They've done well. They know I like that one. And yeah, they give you quite an extensive list. Actually, they haven't given me as many as I thought they would. They've got an Estee Lauder one here. That's a Calvin Klein, Serge Lutens. So yeah, not loads and loads, but we'll have a look at the Carolina Herrera 2121 Fragrantica and see if it's something I'd be interested in buying. I'm sure my brother owned that one before and I was a fan. I think it's got a boozy note in. Take it back actually, it was 212 VIP by Carolina Herrera. That one's got vodka and gin in. I just looked, that was the one my brother owned. So we've never owned this one. But this has been around, I believe, a long, long time. So it was launched in 1999. There you go. So what are the notes in this one? So top notes, green notes, grapefruit, spices, bergamot, lavender, petitgrain. Middle notes, ginger, violet, gardenia, and sage. And then base notes, musk, sandalwood, incense, vetiver, gaiac wood, and ladana. There's plenty of woods in these base notes here as well. Now, in terms of a score it gets 4.21 out of 5, and that's 8,000 votes. So what do people like? Fresh and sporty. So again, it's been quite interesting, just from the ones that I've put sort of my, things I like in, saying very much sporty. And I never considered myself liking the sporty fragrances as much because I'm a sporty person. But it obviously shows that maybe they think I do. Elegant, easy to wear, unique grassy smell, okay. Suitable for any occasion. So again, versatility is the name of the game, and the fragrance finders are finding the essentially versatile ones here. Some people say, what are the cons? Some people say it's been reformulated, it's not as good as the original, a bit generic, not attention grabbing, metallic and soapy, may cause headaches, too feminine for some tastes. And there we go. Interesting. Again, that one feels like a very, I just want to say classic now, 1999, very classic scent, but again, plenty of versatility, and that's probably why it's still around today. Again, we found a few there, Boss Bottled and this, came out in the 1990s, but they're still so well known and they're still being worn. And it just shows that is why these brands are still touching into versatility, and I think woody notes are a good one. Has this email come through? I'm going to tell you right now, no, it hasn't. So the fragrance shop, you were doing so well. You had the best fragrance finder up until the fact you told me no fragrances. So hopefully it will come through at some point. If we do, I'll give you an update. But yeah, let's give an overall thoughts on what we found today and if I'll buy any of those fragrances. So yeah, I suppose importantly, what do you think? Would you rather have a fragrance finder that gives you plenty of options and doesn't really ask you too many questions, just asks the scent profile you like? Or do you prefer something that goes into a little bit more depth and maybe just gives you 2 or 3 fragrances that you may be interested in? Ultimately, what they've all come up with are quite safe, generic scents based on the answers or my results that I've given them. So, yeah, interested. It does sort of give that sporty vibe. Obviously, I've got one of the ones they've recommended me as well, and obviously Ted Hermes, the original, came up as an option as well. So it hasn't done too bad. It hasn't gone too far fetched. Am I going to buy some of those fragrances? You never know, maybe one day. But do I think I would potentially look at these and use these? For me, no. But they are out there. These fragrance fairs, I think they're a great idea because actually, if you're not sure what you're going for and you're spending, £130 on some of these looking on those websites, you want to kind of have a rough idea of what you're getting. But my advice, I like to try plenty of fragrances. Look on reviews, look on Fragrantica, look at the note breakdown. Find out what works for you. You might want to start with clones to start with, or cheap fragrances that have those notes in, so you can try it and then get a better understanding of what that smell is before you start spending more money on these fragrances that they're recommending on their websites. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting to look at fragrance finders, and there are so many out there. So what I might start to do is a bit of a series where I look at a certain note profile, how many of them recommend the same fragrances. But yeah, I hope that's given you a bit of an idea of what's out there, sort of things they recommend as well. And actually, to be fair to them, they do give quite different prices. They give a bit of a variety there, so I do appreciate that. And yeah, I'm quite happy with what we found today. But yeah, let's check this email again. No, not at all. But yeah, enjoyed doing that one as well. And I hope you enjoyed watching it today. Plenty more videos to come, and hopefully, yeah, you'll join me for those. So yeah, I'll catch you later.